whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're going to hurt some people.
Whose car are we going to take?
Happy Friday, all. Thanks for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show. You guys are excellent. Please let me know in the chat if my connection is good or not. I don't really have much control until Kim gets here, but we were having a little bit of computer issues, so that's why we had a bit of a delay. But thank you. It is Friday. I want you guys to check out over my shoulder right here this picture. My daughter wanted to show it off. She's homesick again today, so we're doing double duty over here. But this is the Nikki Medoro Show, live starting at noon Pacific. If you guys can, please click that thumbs up button to show your support of the show. We really do appreciate it. It is awesome when you guys can do that just every single time. Make it a habit. The super chat, also live. It's a way for you guys to support us financially. Super comment, super thanks, super sticker. You can find the dollar symbol right underneath the live chat where all of you are waiting, and I absolutely love it. But please, consider, just think about, you know what? I think I could afford a few dollars a month, maybe more than a few dollars. Please join our community on Patreon and subscribe. Become a monthly subscriber for any amount you can afford. Simply by going to thenikkimedoroshow.com, thenikkimedoroshow.com. The links to PayPal are there. There's the email right on your screen. The PayPal email is thenikkimedoroshow@gmail.com. And then pick yourself up some merch. There's more than this stuff there. thenikkimedoroshop.com. All right. It is Friday. It's my favorite day because, I get to eat something. I did not know what to eat. No, I did not bake. I did not make anything. Again, sick kid at home. Been dealing with all of that. And so I feel like I have something in my teeth, but I don't. It's just the shadow. So I went online. I went online and just literally typed in, what should I eat today? And so it was actually pretty funny what came out. So that's what I'm getting. It's coming around 12:30. So grab some lunch and have some lunch with us. We're going to start off by talking about Jean Carroll. She might sue Trump again for that town hall. But like I was previewing before the show, Anderson Cooper and CNN are trying to gaslight us. They're totally trying to gaslight us, and I am not standing for it. We'll get into that. The GOP is the party of projectors. They love to project things that they themselves are doing. And there's no better example than this Texas Congressman, Brian Slayton. He has anti-grooming legislation, and just guess what he was expelled over. Yeah, it's not that hard of a guess. Kirk Cameron still sucks. I don't know why this guy keeps being placed on my TV screen, but he is what's wrong with politics and with this whole debate over schools and public education. Again, we'll have Friday food in the second part of this hour. Amy, I see you in the chat. I see you. It is a gorgeous day outside. I thought I saw you. Yes, Amy, happy Friday to you. I saw your TikTok. When we talk about this later in the show, I hope you can hang around and click the link to come in, because that is an insane story, Amy. If you want to share it with the rest of the show, please do. But I'm going to use your story as a jumping off point to talk about that choking death. Daniel Penny, the man that did that headlock kind of choke on Jordan Neely, who ended up dying. His lawyer said something, and it just resonated, especially when we were talking about Bart. We've just talked about, the Costco thing yesterday. Our relations with each other, it's getting a bit insane out there. So we're going to talk about that maybe during Friday Food, maybe right after. Of course, Tim Sika is going to be here. We're going to touch on Mother's Day. What do moms really want? What do they really want? What do you get, moms? And what do they really want? And so I'll share it. And when Kim McAllister is here, we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so let's get into Jean Carroll. So Jean Carroll's attorney says she might sue Trump again. because of the comments that he made during CNN's town hall. So I'm going to show you just a little clip of exactly what was said. Let's see here. Is it? Yeah. No. He can't stop. He really just can't. He can't stop. And by him, I mean Trump, of course. He can't stop making stupid comments thinking there's going to be no consequences. So this is what President Trump said during the town hall.
Usually you leave office, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigned. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge too. Because what's happening is they're doing this for election interference. This woman, I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I had a picture taken years ago with her and her husband, nice guy, John Johnson. He was a newscaster, very nice man. She called him an ape. Happens to be African-American. Called him an ape. The judge wouldn't allow us to put that in. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. The judge wouldn't allow to put that in.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it right here. What does either of those things matter to the fact that you are alleged to have taken this woman and they found you liable into a dressing room, raped her and assaulted her, and then defamed her name? Nothing.
All of these things, but with her, they can put in anything. Access Hollywood.
Yeah, because, wait a minute. Because the Access Hollywood tape, Trump completely supports what happened to her. You just move on them. You could grab them by the pee. That's why.
Found you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old, and this is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her. She was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry. And a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door. So she said,
Look at this. And did you see that woman? I mean, she's laughing. Women who support Trump, I just don't get you.
One that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay? I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
I just don't get it. I really, yeah, exactly, Deidre. The people laughing, again, in a cult. You guys are totally in a cult. You don't know right from wrong. It's just what Trump tells you to believe. He wants you to laugh with him. He wants you to agree with him on his lies. You are in a cult and you like it. And speaking of Trump supporters, you like it. Yep. John, it's a cult. They could see a video of him raping a 5-year-old girl. They would call her a slut. That's pretty harsh, but you know what? They'd probably ask, what was she wearing? They probably, where were the parents? So that's Trump. And, you know, I hope Jean Carroll does sue his ass. I do. I don't know if she's going to. She still has another defamation lawsuit pending over comments Trump made when she first came out with her accusations back in 2019. But the lawsuit has been held up. And why? Because there's questions over whether Trump has immunity since he made those comments while he's president. And you wonder why he wants to be president again. It shields him. For some godforsaken reason, it apparently shields him. That's why he's running again. The only reason he's running, it's not to make this country better. It's not to unite us. He's so full of crap. The reason he's running again is every criticism, every lawsuit, everything he'll say is a political witch hunt because I'm running for president. That's why. It gives him some sort of shield. And we have to pull that shield away and be like, we don't care. No, it doesn't matter. I just don't get it. But what I also don't get is how CNN is trying to gaslight us. Now, these comments by Anderson Cooper make my blood boil. And it's still boiling from yesterday when I was making the point I'm going to make again today. But just Anderson Cooper going on national television and telling us, why should you have a problem with what we did? I just can't believe that CNN is so blind to their role in the cult we keep talking about. It works for them. And okay, so I'm going to play it for you, and you just tell me what you think, because it's driving me nuts.
Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions, and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie. And I get it. It was disturbing. It was disturbing to see and hear that person refer to a black law enforcement officer as a thug, an adjective he used many times to describe black men, and call Caitlin Collins, the moderator, nasty, which is what he calls any woman who stands up to him. It was disturbing to hear him speak so highly of QAnon conspirators and insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in our democracy on January 6th. And it was awful to hear him spread ridiculous lies about the election. And it was certainly disturbing to hear that audience, young and old, our fellow citizens, people who love their kids and go to church, laugh and applaud his lies and his continued defamation of a woman who, according to a jury of his peers, he sexually abused and defamed. As good a job as Caitlin Collins did trying to fact check him, it is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly. Now, many of you think CNN shouldn't have given him any platform to speak, and I understand the anger about that, giving him the audience, the time, I get that. But this is what I also get. The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president. And according to polling, no other Republican is even close.
I'm going to stop right there. Why is he the front runner? Now, of course, there's the cult, right? The base that will support Trump no matter what. He's also the front runner because he gets more coverage on channels like CNN than anybody else. Do you know the platform really as closely of Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, and others? Do you know the ideas that they're putting forth? Do you know their personality? Do you know, and I'm not saying it's any better, but what I am saying is CNN right here is trying to gaslight us as if their coverage of Trump does not help him stay the front runner. Let's just let him finish.
That man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years. And that audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country. They are your family members, your neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him.
When have we not heard from him? Anderson, are you that naive that your channel and other channels haven't still been covering him? Covering the lawsuits against him, Jean Carroll, for instance. You really think that America turned the page on Trump simply because what? He got kicked off Twitter? Just give me a break.
Thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. So if last night showed anything, it showed it can happen again.
Mm-hmm.
It is happening again.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't changed, and he is running hard. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again. But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away? Many of you.
And that's the gaslight. That's the fine point on the gaslighting. Is that Anderson? Oh, you're just in your silo. You're not here. Bull crap. We're not hearing it. You're putting it on a megaphone. You're giving it to all corners of the country now, Anderson Cooper. Under this guise, again, talking about shielding yourself, CNN and Anderson Cooper, of both sides being fair. Oh, he's the front runner. You're part of the problem. You can cover Trump. You don't have to give him his own town hall. And if you're going to do a town hall with him, the next day have Asa Hutchinson, Nikki Haley, and all the other candidates. If you really felt all sides. Let's welcome Kim McAllister to the show. I'm upset because Anderson Cooper is trying to make us feel Like, we shouldn't be upset about what they're doing again. They are giving him an amplified platform.
So, and you have to think, I have to think, that the only reason Anderson Cooper is saying these things is because he truly believes them. He can't possibly be doing it for money. The guy is loaded, right? He's one of the only people that probably doesn't need the cash. So, I mean, I guess the question I asked myself is, what will these anchors, what will these, personalities do for money to keep doing? Would they work for a CNN that skews more toward a Fox News? But Anderson Cooper doesn't need that money. He can be true to himself. So why
you think that Anderson Cooper truly feels like the best?
He must.
I mean, I think that CNN also is looking at Anderson Cooper and saying, we pay you a buttload of money. You're going to go out there and you're going to say what we want to say to defend it.
But he doesn't need that money. He could easily stand up and say, I don't agree with what you're doing. I work at this network because it is fair and balanced. I work at this network because you tell the real truth on the news, in the news, and I don't have to work.
You're way nicer to him than I am.
If you're
way
going to tell
nicer.
me, then he doesn't have to work there. I mean, he has oodles and oodles and oodles of money.
Yeah, but so do a lot of people that go on television and broadcast against what they know are truths and lies. They're all rich, Kim. They're all rich, but they want to still keep their position. Now, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I still think Anderson Cooper is full of crap. I think he's totally full of crap. I think he knows CNN's role in amplifying Trump's message. And for him to say it's on us, no.
He must believe that it's important to hear Trump's message. He must believe that it's important for us to hear it again.
And he's wrong.
We had this discussion, and I'd love to kind of continue it with you, if you don't mind. And so, because someone mentioned it in the chat, that it had been mentioned on, I'm trying to scroll back and find the text, that had been mentioned on Mark's show, basically, by Jim Avila, that because he is basically, Trump is slandering people again, with the Jean Carroll and everything else, that makes CNN liable. And so they should have edited it. They should have edited out the lies or beeped the lies or done something to note that there was, mistruths. And Jim even took it so far as to say that Trump now no longer deserves the opportunity to go live.
Right.
That he's shown that he should only be a recorded, so that then you go and you put the,
But then no one's going to believe
underneath.
it.
Well, and I would argue this: when you sanitize Trump, when you take out all the ugliness, when you beep all the badness, you take out the shock to people of what he really truly is. If the one positive that came out of the CNN town hall, so-called town hall, because that wasn't a town hall, that was a picking of a very specific
It was a rally.
audience.
It was a rally for Trump.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
So when you take that, the one good thing that came out of it was we were all reminded of exactly what we need to fight for. And maybe you saw it in the last election when people came out in droves to vote for Biden and Kamala Harris. He was so bad. January 6th was so egregious that people were motivated and moved to come out and vote, maybe not for Biden, but against Trump, right? And so maybe that reminder of what a complete cad he is a good reminder for us. Time to rally, time to fight. Time to get out there and make phone calls, send postcards, do whatever you got to do, because that guy getting back into office would be awful for America. I can't even think about it.
You're right. I hope that, here's the thing. I do believe that there's more people that can't stand Trump, that hold him at least partially responsible for January 6th. Obviously, this lawsuit with Jean Carroll, I get it. And I hope that you're right, that we will again stuff Trump down into a hole and he'll never be president again. I really do. I think that, it's nice to think that it doesn't matter that CNN let him have this town hall. But I disagree with you saying that people were shocked. I don't think anybody was shocked by what Trump said. I think it was, he's
You
exactly
weren't
the same.
shocked when he came out and said all those horrible things against Jean Carroll? Like he just got
You think that he wouldn't? You really thought that Trump was going to come out and say
maybe $5 million doesn't mean anything, but a jury just said you defamed her and sexually abused her. Maybe shut up about it for 5 minutes. I was surprised when he said that.
Oh, I wasn't. I think that it's exactly him. I was shocked on January 6th when he came out, was not condemning it right away. There's good people. Go home. We love you. That whole thing. I was shocked. Ever since then, nothing that has come out of his mouth has shocked me. He cares about himself and himself alone. He will lie until he's dead. He will lie. I bet he will die and then still not freaking believe that he's dead. He's a liar. And so no, nothing surprises me. I think that he thinks he's still Teflon. I think that it doesn't matter to him that he has to pay this money. He's going to appeal it anyway. So it's not like he's going to pay it right away. I don't know. Until I see him behind bars, I feel like he can get away with anything. And I do feel that CNN is culpable. I think that I think people are fooling themselves to believe that we can treat him and political discourse and being fair and equal time the same way when we're dealing with someone like Trump. Like Anderson Cooper actually did say, and I agree with, he lies and he doesn't care about it. It's hard to fact check him because he doesn't care that he's lying. You call him out and he'll just call you nasty. You call him out and he'll just continue to spew the same BS. So we can't treat him the same way.
No, we can't treat him the same way.
No.
And Stars writes something I didn't know. John Malone is a major shareholder in Discovery, which purchased CNN's parent company, Warner Media, last year. And John Malone, writes NSTARS, is a billionaire Trump donor. I haven't done the research into that. So NSTARS, I'll take your word for it until I can look into it. But that's interesting and would kind of give us the backstory on why.
Why? Like, he doesn't need it. Trump has reach. He doesn't need a town freaking hall, Anderson Cooper. He just does it. And it's so, I'm frustrated. I thought that Anderson Cooper's statement was complete BS. I think that he is basically like, why are you guys so worried? Of course we have to cover Trump. No, you don't. He can pay for ads, just like Asa Hutchinson, Nikki Haley, all the other candidates are trying to do to get a modicum of attention from the mainstream media. He can go do that. Okay, he can do that. We do not need to help him because he's the front runner. Stop giving us BS excuses on why you're justifying to yourself why you're putting that freaking liar and threat to America on your TV screen. I'm not buying it. It's bull. And yeah, I'm so frustrated. If you can't tell by the whole entire freaking thing.
David Odell says Anderson Cooper enjoys his celebrity and wants to keep his show, and he will say whatever's necessary to do so. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but I want to say Anderson Cooper is already a celebrity, whether they take his show away or not. We all know who he is. He's now a national personality.
Well, then why would he? Okay, but on that line of thinking, Kim, why doesn't he just quit though? Why does he just quit if he's so rich? Why does he still do the show? Because he wants it.
So he must believe it, right? I mean, if you ask Anderson Cooper to come out and say something bad against gay people when he's gay, would he say it? No.
True. I mean, yes, that's an example
level where he probably has editorial control of what comes out of his mouth. So he must believe it.
Ooh, I don't know if he has editorial control of what goes up. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say he can completely decide. I do not think that CNN is like, yes, Anderson, you can do and say whatever you want on your show. I doubt at that level you have that much freedom. Now, I'm not saying they're forcing him to say something, but I do I think, this is what I think. CNN looked at Anderson Cooper and said, people like Kim McAllister trust you. You need to go out there and you need to defend the decision we made on why we put Trump up there. And yes, you might be right that Anderson can be convinced or is slightly convinced that it was a good thing to put Trump on it. I don't agree. I don't think that it was the right move. And I think that there should be some sort of, which I guess Anderson Cooper did. I understand why you're mad at us. But that whole thing at the end, oh, do you want to stay in your silo? I wish there was a silo thick enough where I would never have to see a word or hear a word from Donald Trump. It doesn't freaking exist. So Anderson, don't try to sell me that line of bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm just going to say
Nikki would like you to build her a better silo. Thank you very much.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. So stop. I just don't gaslight me, especially Anderson Cooper, who leave the gaslight on. He did for Trump all the time. Don't tell me that I don't know what I just saw and heard with that town hall. It was a rally for Trump sponsored by CNN, and you won't convince me otherwise. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Heather. I really do. Am I screaming? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being a bit loud, Ellen? I apologize that my passion comes across the
Why are
microphone
you
a
yelling?
little bit louder. I know. Why are you yelling? Okay. All right. Well, let's get. I
Because
put
you're
some.
pissed off. That's
I'm
why.
pissed off. Exactly. I put this in my rundown because I knew I was going to get all upset. And we're gonna do some Friday food segments, and it is Mother's Day, and we're gonna talk later on this show about what moms really want for Mother's Day. Kim, I want you to describe your ideal Mother's Day to me, and you could be completely honest. Do you want to be surrounded by family and friends? Do you want to be surrounded by your mom and other moms? Is that what you want? That's fine. I just want to hear, what do you really, really want? And so I put this palette cleanser in my rundown to like be a woosah about the whole thing. And it's such a cute thing that I saw kind of about Mother's Day. A mama named Cora ended up in a shelter after her owner took her babies away. And so she was depressed and she wouldn't come out from behind the corner. And so they found her babies. So look at this. Corner. And she won't come out. But there's your baby. Look at the mama. She's like, is that my baby? Look.
Now she comes out.
There she goes. And she keeps looking for even more. She's like, where's the rest of my babies? Look.
I love the music.
I know, right? Look how happy she is. All right. So I'll leave you with this as it's going. So coming up after Kim's news, lower the volume just a little bit on this though. After Kim's news, we are going to talk about food. I think, I don't know if my food's been delivered yet. Food, how I chose my food today because I had no idea what I wanted to eat. What Kim really wants for Mother's Day. I don't. I'm gonna mess with the rundown a little bit. I don't know. Should I get heated about Kirk Cameron again?
That's pretty cute.
Look how cute that is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll figure out. But we'll definitely talk Mother's Day right after this. Look how cute. All right.
The music kills me.
That was a very good Mother's Day puppy story. I love stuff like that. And I needed a little bit of a palate cleanser. Okay, so Kim's going to do the news. I'll tell you what I'm eating next on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Yes, the federal judge in Florida is temporarily blocking the Biden administration from releasing migrants into the U.S. without a notice to appear in court. The restraining order took effect just before Title 42 expired on midnight Thursday. The order will expire in 2 weeks, giving the government time to request an emergency stay from a higher court. The verdict came back today on a case we've been following. Lori Vallow Daybell has been found guilty of killing her 7 and 16-year-old children and conspiring to kill her husband's first wife. The Boise, Idaho jury handed the so-called Doomsday Cult case yesterday. Prosecutors say Vallow Daybell and her husband were obsessed with doomsday-focused religious beliefs. So, guilty in that case. The search is on in the East Bay in Antioch for a thief who started a fire in a BART parking lot. 6 cars burned to a crisp yesterday, happened near the train station. Fire officials say it appears someone was using an electric drill to steal gasoline from a truck when it went up in flames and then spread downhill. At least 2 drivers returned from work to find their cars destroyed. So now everyone's calling for more security at this BART parking lot. At this point, no description on the suspect. You'd think there'd be cameras in that area. The heat is now on across the Pacific Northwest, so here comes the big snow melt, right? Into the weekend, temperatures likely to soar up to 30 degrees above normal. From Oregon to Alberta, Canada, here in the Bay Area, we're going to get temperatures in the 80s and 90s. The National Weather Service says a record high reading expected as far south as interior California. Two police officers who took down a school shooter in Nashville will receive now national recognition. Officers Rex Engelbert and Michael Collazo will be presented the National Award of Valor by the National Association of School Resources Officers. The award honors those for acts of courage above and beyond what is expected. University of Idaho awarding posthumous degrees to 4 murdered students. School officials say each of the victims killed in the off-campus stabbing in November will receive degrees in their areas of study this weekend. The 28-year-old Washington State University graduate student charged with first-degree murder in that case does remain behind bars. And it's playoffs for the NBA. Pair of playoff games on tap tonight. The Heat take the 3-2 series lead in their contest with the New York Knicks in Miami. And of course, the Golden State Warriors will try to force a Game 7 against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Lakers right now with a 3-2 lead in that series. So will the Warriors be able to even it up? We don't know. I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show.
All right, I'm back. Nugget was eating my daughter.
Food? Oh,
got my food, but Nugget was eating Marley's mashed potatoes, so I had to go yell at the dog. Okay, so I did not know what to eat today. I did not know what to eat, so I just went on Google, Kim. I'm going to give you this quiz. Have you eaten lunch today?
No.
Okay, so I just put in Google, what should I eat today? Right? Felt like it was like an AI thing. And this quiz came up. And so I'm going to give you the quiz to tell you what you should eat. All right. You ready? All right.
Let me get a pencil. Do I have to write things down?
Nope. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
It's online. So here we go. Here, I'm going to ask you the question. You just give, what's your favorite season? Summer, winter, autumn, or spring?
Summer.
Okay. That's what I chose too. What do you want your food to be? Simple, rich, healthy, or special?
Simple.
Simple. Okay. What texture are you looking for? Creamy, fluffy, crispy, or tender?
Creamy, fluffy, crispy, or tender?
I know, this is so weird.
Crispy.
Crispy. I chose crispy too. Okay. Although my food that I got is not crispy. Who are you eating with? Family, my loved one, friends, or alone?
For lunch?
Yeah, right now. If you were going to eat right now.
Friends. I'm eating with friends. I'm eating with you in the
there we
chat.
go.
You're all my friends. There you go.
There we go. What would you like to do after you eat? Exercise, work, sleep, or go out?
Pick up my kids from school.
Go out then. Okay.
Yeah.
What meal are we talking about? We're talking about lunch. Obviously. Are you hungry? Very hungry? Pretty hungry? Not really, or not at all?
I'm hungry.
Not you? Pretty hungry?
I'm hungry. I am hungry.
Okay. So pretty. Just hungry was not an option. Pretty hungry, I'm choosing. Okay. What do you crave? Sugar, dairy, salt, or vegetables?
All of the above.
Choose one, woman.
Is there a D? Answer D. Sugar, dairy, salt, or vegetables?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar, dairy, salt. Always sugar, really, but I'll go for vegetables.
You don't have to lie on the quiz. It's going to just give you food. Okay. What type of food do you usually eat? Fast food, spicy, healthy, or light?
None of the above. Like regular food.
I'm just going to, how about we just choose light then?
Okay.
How aged are you? I consider myself middle-aged. So we're just
I would say that's true.
Okay. How much do you exercise? Too much once in a while, twice or thrice a day, or never?
Never.
I said never either.
This is why we're friends.
What quantity do you usually eat? Heavy, not much, the amount enough to fill my tummy, or very little?
Oh, this is my problem. See, I can go for a long time without eating, and then when I eat, then I eat a lot.
Right.
So I guess I'll go for, what's the answers again?
Heavy, not much, the amount enough to fill my tummy, or very little?
I'll say the amount enough to fill my tummy.
That's what I said too.
Let's just pretend.
Are you ready to cook something difficult? Of course, not that difficult. I was going to answer if I'm like, she's
absolutely
not.
Anyway. There's no.
What matters most? This was a weird one. What matters most in a dish? Presentation, taste, nutritional value, or the smell?
Taste.
Obviously, I'm like, who cares what it looks like? I just want to eat it.
I mean, I prefer it not stink, but I'll take taste over smell.
Oh yeah. Okay. Would you eat something else after this meal?
It's
a few more things. One more thing, maybe not all.
If someone walked in with like ice cream or chocolate cake, I could see going for that.
All right, maybe. Okay, let's see. You got what I was supposed to eat, or what I am. Curry. You're supposed to eat curry.
Okay.
Which is not crispy or anything. So that's the curry that I
Is
got.
that a curry salad? What's in there? What is that?
It's bell peppers. So red bell peppers, green bell pepper, carrot,
There's the
eggplant. I know. I guess. But I thought we said crispy.
The crisp. Yeah.
We said that doesn't
You
count.
bite into a bell pepper, you get a little.
When I think crispy, I think like fried chicken, my friend. Fried chicken is crispy. So I'm gonna taste. This is from a place called Lana Thai or Lana Thai, Lanna Thai.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked for it. I put curry in the DoorDash. I found one that was pretty close, and I'm gonna take a really big bite. That's really good. It's a little spicy.
Okay.
They asked me when I ordered it, do I want it hot or Thai hot? I was going to get Thai hot, but I knew I'd have to talk. So
Eric, you crack me up. Eric says people will starve to death before finishing that quiz.
It was 15 questions. Come on. It's the food segment. Healthy fast food.
I don't think all curry is spicy.
No.
Some curry just has a curry flavor, and then some curry has some heat to it, like a packs a heaty punch. So you know the place, Murphy. That's awesome. Yeah. It's pretty good. The reason why I also ordered it from this place is because there's some places serve a Thai eggplant. And I believe the purple is the Japanese eggplant. I like the Japanese eggplant better than the green Thai eggplant. I think I'm correct about that. So when I had to make my decision about it, my nose was running from all the spice. Yeah, there are different levels. You can get it, I believe, without added spice, but I think some of it just in the curry broth, they include, obviously, spice in it. But it's really, really good. So that's my lunch. There's a Thai restaurant that's one of my favorites, and I used to stop there sometimes on the way home from Station X, on the way back to Petaluma. They have the most amazing pad Thai, and they have this fried rice that they put cashews in it and some other things and little mini corns. Like, it's so good and fresh. It's called Arawan Thai cuisine. And it's in Sausalito, and that's such a good restaurant.
Ooh, okay.
Even now, like, I wish I could, if I didn't have to drive all the way to Sausalito, Vicky in Sausalito, hi. If I didn't have to drive all the way down there, I would want it immediately.
Yeah, it's I love Thai food. I love all the Asian food. So it's just it's something that I absolutely love. Okay, so let me just get these other things out of the way. We'll lighten things up in the second part of the show. Maybe. We'll see. Did you see what Kirk Cameron talked about? Have you seen
now with him? He's the Holy Roller guy, right?
Yes, he was from Growing Pains. God, I hate the fact that I used to love him from Growing Pains. So this is the thing. It really bothers me, the projection that a lot of conservatives and the GOP does. Okay. There was this Texas, before I get to Kirk Cameron, there was this Texas Congressman, Brian Slayton. He's called he actually presented an anti-grooming piece of legislation.
Oh, come on.
Well, he's been expelled because there's allegations of sexual misconduct with a 19-year-old staffer. He's 45 years old. He preempted his expulsion by stepping down on Monday. In his resignation letter, he made no reference to the allegation, but apparently, he was grooming her, told her not to talk about it. So according to the report, Slayton had sexual intercourse with the legislative aide, whom he had a primary responsibility for overseeing. He invited her to his apartment in late March, served her alcohol. The aide testified that she consumed a lot of alcohol, felt dizzy. Sometime in the morning, the two had sex, and the aide got Plan B to prevent pregnancy later that morning. Isn't that rich? So nice that she has the actual ability to be able to get the Plan B. Now, investigators, according to NBC, were not able to determine whether he had committed sexual assault, but the report determined the aide could not effectively consent or indicate whether the sex was welcome or unwelcome. Not to mention, Even though she's an adult, she's 19 years old, you're 45, and she's your employee. She's your aide. Like, what the hell, man? It just, I don't know. But it's just rich. The GOP always seem to project the things that they don't want. Now let's go to Kirk Cameron. Let me just say this. If you want your children raised or educated a certain way, there is a simple answer to doing that. One, find a school that aligns with your belief system. Okay? If you're Catholic or Jewish or whatever, fill in the blank. Send them there. If you agree with their teaching style, their belief system, blah, 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 go there. Or homeschool your own kids. So Kirk Cameron is a homeschooling advocate. Fabulous. Fabulous. So why then, Kirk, are you coming after public schools? Here's what he had to say. Let me bring this up for you. Here we go.
The target is always children. And that's why God gave children to parents, not to governments, not to woke institutions that are then staffed and manned by those who want to undermine the faith and values that made America great and that advanced the good. So we shouldn't be surprised that nefarious forces are targeting children, because the goal is ultimately the collapse of the family and the killing of God in America. Because what that does is it so destabilizes our moral and societal structures that it can then be replaced and reorganized with something different, like progressive, socialist, communist ideas. And that has always been the plan.
I don't even understand what he's talking about.
Far off the deep end, like so nuts.
It's insane. And here's the thing. It's either his idea of what the family looks like, right? It's the father, mother, that nuclear type of family.
His way or the highway.
Or it's woke communism. Like
one or the other. Who's targeting children?
Right. He is coming out against public schools. He says it's nefarious progressive public schools that are indoctrinating kids by killing God. Who's God, Kirk? Your God, right? Your belief system is what you want to impose. It sounds like a dictatorship to me, Mr. Cameron.
Schools don't talk about God one way or the other.
It's not supposed to. If you want to talk about God, go to a religious school.
Go to church or go to a religious school. Schools shouldn't mention it unless they're trying to teach about a bunch of religions at once in a section, like
theology or
Christians
something like
look at
that.
The Bible, Jews look at this, or whatever it may be, like theology, comparative religion, whatever you want to call it. That's it. That's the only reason schools would talk about God. And I don't think they're saying anything offensive. They're just saying something that's true. So who's targeting children here?
Yeah.
Who's
the breakup of the family.
No.
What family? You're talking about a specific thing. And when he talks about, the progressive, woke, socialism, communism, because that's the line that they always try to make, right? It's like socialists, we're going to live in communist, like Hitler or whatever. But it's really rich that it's conservatives that are really trying to dictate how you live your life. Not Democrats, not liberals. Liberals are trying to be inclusive, but that's called woke, right? Trying to be inclusive. And again, they're like, you're only inclusive to the things you believe in. No. If you want to, I won't agree with you, believe X, Y, and Z, that's fine, but just don't impose your stuff on me. You don't believe, putting that word in quotes, in gay marriage, don't be gay married. Simple as that. You don't believe that people can choose their gender, then don't, right? Or whatever. Like, you don't have to live your life that way, but you can't impose it on others. You just can't. You have to stop with that nonsense. Yeah, it's really crazy. And I love this. Wes, I believe Wes is the one that sent me this article. Russia, this is a Newsweek. Russia may build a village for American conservatives. Apparently, according to Newsweek, the Kremlin-backed RIA Novosti news agency reported on the community that caters to expats with traditional, quote unquote, values, writing that construction on this village will begin next year for conservative Americans and Canadians. Mm-hmm. Why do you think Russia is catering to conservatives? Anybody have the answer? It's because, again, it's this projection. Oh, we don't want to live in a dictatorship. You want to live in a dictatorship. You want to dictate how other people live their lives. You want this. It's just, again, it's one of these situations where they just continue to spew nonsense, and we're supposed to buy it. Now, the Russian state-operated media outlets gave Trump favorable coverage, aired clips from right-wing pundits. They love Fox's, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. The news agency says about 200 families want to emigrate to Russia for ideological reasons. Did you ever believe that this is what Americans, conservatives, would want to do? That they would look to Russia as a better place to be than America?
Russia, then go.
Oh yeah,
and you will have a rude awakening when you take your taken for granted American rights, like being able to speak against whatever you want to speak against. If someday your ideas change, or if one of your children turns out or comes out as gay, or what, because they won't tolerate that there, right?
Yep.
That's against their laws. So, good luck to you going to a society that is suffocating and clamped down, and you won't realize it till you get there. But Godspeed. Go.
Yeah,
we
please.
don't need you here.
Please go. Like that's my whole go. But Bilma raises a good point. Russians will indoctrinate these Americans, then they will come home and indoctrinate others. I mean, I would say they're already indoctrinated. That's why you are choosing to go to Russia. I mean, you're so far freaking gone. Yeah. And I'm not trying to, talk bad about Russians as a whole, but obviously the way that their country is run, I do not agree with. So Daniel says, I'm sorry, conservatives have always, and I mean always, wanted to dictate how you live your life. It's just only recently that people start expressing the way they really think, and now they're all upset. Yeah. They have no problem with freedom as long as it looks like their freedom, right? You are free to live your life exactly as I live my life. If you deviate from that at all, then no. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. Just keep your eyes on your own page. Isn't that what you always say, Kim?
Keep your eye on your own paper. Yeah. That's right. Keep your eye on your own paper.
Worry about your own life. Exactly.
Right. Leave me alone. Just focus on you.
Okay, but I'm going to say this, and we're going to switch gears here a little bit, because this whole idea of just focusing on what you do and your life and caring just about that, I don't fully mean in every aspect, obviously, right? I mean, we should care about each other. We should, we stand up for each other. We make sure that, we're fighting for not just injustices against us, but other people. But when I'm talking about, keep your eyes on your own paper, it's about the rights and the freedoms that we have over our own body, gender, sexuality, those sorts of things. I want to talk now, though, about Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny is the man accused of choking that subway rider, Jordan Neely. Okay. He turned himself in. And I'm going to show you this. His Jordan Neely's family attorney made this statement outside the courtroom. And yeah, there it is. That's Daniel Penny, a blonde. And this is what Jordan Neely's attorney said. And it really resonates with me because of what we've been talking about this week. Everything from BART, public transportation, people not feeling safe, to Safeway. Amy, if you are, Amy's leaving. Damn. But Amy shared on TikTok a story about an incident involving her at Safeway. We talked yesterday about Costco, right? The Costco parking lot, guy got beat up eating a hot dog type of thing. Yeah. So this is what Jordan Neely's family attorney said yesterday.
No one on that train asked Jordan, what's wrong? How can I help you? He was choked to death instead. So for everybody saying, I've been on the train and I've been afraid before, and I can't tell you what I would have done in that situation, I'm going to tell you. Ask how you can help. Please. Don't attack. Don't choke. Don't kill. Don't take someone's life. Don't take someone's loved one from them because they're in a bad place. No one on that train said, you started out by saying, I'm hungry. I need food. I'm done with it. I don't know where to get food. I don't care if I die. I don't care if I go to jail. I'm just done. No one said, here you are, sir. Let me meet your need or help you in a situation or give a word of encouragement. That's not what happened on that train.
The reason why I wanted to bring that up is because how many of us would feel comfortable doing that? I mean, how many of us, if you saw a guy hop on the train and say, I'm hungry, and I don't know the way he did it, but he's announcing something, right? I'm hungry. How many of you would help him? And then he starts having more disturbing behavior. How many of you would say, oh, are you okay? I wish I could say that I would feel comfortable, safe enough to do that. I would be lying. And I hate that. I really do. I mean, I think it would matter. And this is awful to say. I feel like if it was a woman, I would have. Right? I mean, I feel like just being a man and myself being a woman, I would feel scared that I wouldn't, if it went the wrong way, I would be overpowered or something, you know? Yeah. And it sucks. It sucks. Amy, let's put I don't know, Amy, if you feel comfortable coming on the show, but I would love it. Here, I'm putting the link in the thing. If you will come in and tell the story what happened at Safeway. If you feel comfortable, if you don't, I'll do it. Just put in the comments if you want me to tell the story. So Amy was listening to our conversation about Costco yesterday. Mm-hmm. She tagged me, and I think it was from last month. Something happened to her at Safeway. Similar, kind of, but I'm not going to give out the whole story in case she comes on. But it's this situation where we as a society have lost the ability in many cases to interact with each other in a safe way, especially if things start going the wrong way. Now, Amy, I think, reacted in her situation completely appropriately. It's insane. But on that train, did the guy need to choke the guy to death? Now, I don't know if you've seen the video. I don't have the video.
Well, what was it that Daniel Penny says the guy was doing that would warrant being put in a chokehold? Was he being more than generally annoying and asking people for stuff?
No,
was he being belligerent? Was he being dangerous in any way?
Yeah, so apparently he was yelling and harassing passengers on the train. Police sources told ABC Penny was not specifically being threatened by Neely when he intervened. Neely had not become violent and had not been threatening anyone in particular.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like he was maybe misbehaving, being a bit aggressive on the train. Oh, she's here. Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Amy is joining us. I'm so excited. Okay, so Amy. Hi. I'm so excited.
You hear me?
I can totally hear you.
Okay,
so,
great.
okay. I adore you. I'm so happy that you're here.
I adore you too.
But this story, I watched it this morning. I wake up, I'm checking my social media. Like first thing, I watch Amy's story and my jaw is like open. Okay, so I'm going to give the floor to you, Amy. You walk us through what happened at a Safeway. Now, where was the Safeway?
It was on Market in the Castro district where I live.
Okay, tell us what happened.
It's the biggest Safeway in the city. It's a lot of traffic. I've been going there personally for 17 years. As you probably know, I'm a football junkie. So I have a lot of, everyone there knows me. A lot of guys log off and walk around with me. So I don't have, I'm also a very friendly person, super funny, super great. I don't have problems with people, but I'm shopping. I'm at the end of my shopping list. And the last thing on my list is cream. I just need to get some cream real quick. There's a Safeway employee in the cream case. The door's open. He's standing on the ledge. He's reading some ingredients. I'm not in a big hurry. So I don't say anything. I just let him finish because, as any person will, he'll probably turn around and be like, oh my gosh, let me get out of your way. So sorry. Right. That didn't happen. About a minute goes by. And if you're shopping, a minute's a long time. I just say it. It's a long time.
I'm going to stop you right there. There's no way I would have even waited 10 seconds. I'd have been like, excuse me. You're so nice.
I just need to grab that cream.
I was just so I just, after a minute, he steps off the ledge, a minute has passed. And I say, excuse me, can I get some cream real quick? And I didn't say please or anything, but I was super nice. Hey, can I get some cream real quick? He looks up at me, looks down at his phone, completely ignores me. I'm like, is this like, I'm kind of shocked, like shook it. I don't really understand that he's literally just ignoring me and he's not going to move.
Does he have earbuds in? Is he deaf? Like what?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, like he's busy. I'm not in that big of a hurry, but like 30 more seconds go by, and he's. I realize we're having a standoff. Like I think he could leave, but he's like, this girl asked me to leave, so now I'm not gonna. He's like being petty, but like I didn't give you a reason to be petty. I get it. I'm petty too, but so I just like walk over there. I walk around him. I put my hands on his cart and I shove it out of the way. And it wasn't a little shove. I just like made it known that I was like really upset. Right. And I bend down to the bottom level of the Coffee Mate cream that are the like giant extra large ones, you know, the $10 creams, the big ones. As I'm on the bottom grabbing the cream, he shoves me into the cream case. He shoves me on my back, shoves me down. I cannot, it all happened so quick. I have my hand on the cream. I pull up, I turn around, I just smack him in the head with it. I just hit him with the cream. And so next thing you know, he's got me by the throat, shoved me up in the milk case. I'm beating him with the cream. I mean, his nails, I still have scars on my arm. I mean, like, you can see the, like, aftermath. This is 3 weeks ago. So I'm, like, punching him in the face. He's holding me here. He's got his nails dug in my arm. I'm just like, I can't even believe this is happening. I finally like just stop. And some ladies in the back are like, let her go. They're screaming, let her go. And I was like, let me go. You're going to lose your job, man. And so another employee comes over. He's like, dude, you have to let her go. And I'm just sitting there like, he's just holding me by the throat. And I'm like, this is over cream. Like, you work here. Like, you work here. So, you know, the guy's like, you have to let her go. You're going to lose your job. I'm like, you're going to lose your job. Like, you have to let me go. So I'm actually like, fine. I'm just like, let me just one thing I didn't say in the TikTok bit, I did pick up his phone on my way out and I chucked it across the whole Safeway. I threw it all the way into the thread. I picked it up.
Don't cross Amy, people.
I was just so well, and that's the thing, is like, I don't get crossed that often because I'm so nice. I go out of my way to be so friendly. So anyways, I'm walking just to go check out, and the security guard who saw, he's like, do you want to talk to the manager? And I was kind of messed up. And I was like, sure. Go to the manager. She did take like 10 minutes to come out because she was reviewing the tape. Well, she comes out to tell me, we watched the tape. What do you want us to do? I was like, I don't know, maybe have a conversation with them. I didn't need the police call or anything. I've been down this road. I'm a dog walker. You see my little dogs here. But we get assaulted all the time. So I know that I'm not trying to call the police. I'm not going to do anything. So I just tell the manager, Mia, she comes out, what did you want me to do? I said, I don't know, maybe have a talk with him. She's like, well, we watched the video and you pushed the cart first. So he had every right to do that to you.
No.
I was like, okay, I see you. So
there's
I just
a
moved
difference
on.
Between pushing a cart and a physical assault.
I agree. Right? He didn't even, I didn't even touch him. So it's funny because I didn't go back there for a couple weeks because I was like, I need a minute.
Obviously.
But when I walked back in last week, all of the produce section, Amy Brown, what's up? We'll totally tell Mia, you're the best person, you're the best customer we got. Like, they're all huddling around me, they're like hugging me, they're like, we saw you on Facebook. So it was crazy. But then I saw the Costco thing and I was like, did you see the videos that they showed, the surveillance today?
Did they?
Yes, they showed. The guy was saying he was parked. The guy was saying he was in his vehicle parked. But the video, he's in the middle of the road. Like, this whole thing doesn't add up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the fight started in the road. He was not in a parking spot. And he got out of it. Was kind of weird. You can check it out. I saw it on KTVU this morning.
Yeah, I'll play it when I get off with you because I just brought it up. Amy, so why are you not? I understand that you walk dogs. You've had altercations before. I get that. But Amy, he put his hand on your neck. What? Yeah. Why would you not call the police?
Here's why.
Wait, I lost you. I lost you. No.
There I am.
Okay,
there I am.
There you go. Okay.
So my wife is calling. So I've had some altercations in the past, and one of them was in 2013. I was driving my dogs around, and I cut a guy off. I didn't mean to cut him off. He got really mad. He followed me to the next dog stop. Long story short, I got out. I didn't realize he was there. He blocked me in. I kind of get out to well, what are you doing? He comes over. He first of all, I comes up with a pen, and he knocks all of my windows, crashes all my windows. Like all of my windows are gone. And I'm again, what is happening? I go over to confront him. He punches me, knocks me out cold. One punch. I'm on the ground. My dogs are jumping out the windows. They're freaked out. There's like 13 witnesses. Long story short, somebody calls the police. I remember the story. We tell the cops. They find the guy 3 blocks later. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. Unless a police officer witnesses an assault, police cannot do anything. So I asked my uncle, who's a police officer, what's up with the assault? Like, people get punched all the time. Nobody ever gets arrested. He's like, not unless a cop sees it. So even on video, a cop, from my understanding, has to witness it. And I have been in so many confrontations like that, just walking dogs, driving in San Francisco. And the cops just don't do anything. And they've told me before, unless they see it, witness it, cops will not do anything. And if you look at the news, honestly, you'll see that people that are, unless you actually kill somebody, look at the Costco guy. Look at all these, nothing happened. And so for me, it's like, call the cops for them to tell me that they're not going to do anything. That would have just made me more angry. I know they're not going to do anything.
Well,
so,
I mean, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that the grocery store is supporting. Yeah, but I mean, obviously it's a message, and I love you, Amy. Thank you so much for being such a huge supporter.
I appreciate you guys so much.
We're going to show that video too.
Before
go ahead.
I just want to ask a question. Why do you think that worker responded to you the way he did? Do you think he was just a jerk? Do you think it was because you're a woman that God
does he still work there?
The guys told me that they haven't seen him since the incident. He probably quit. It's probably not worth it for him to get his ass beat by a woman. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Do you think it was misogyny that motivated him?
I think it was a little misogyny. I thought he because I asked him to do that, I thought he felt entitled to his space.
He's a
and I thought he was trying to be petty. I think he was like 19 years old. He's new. He's a baby boy. He's new.
Yeah.
So, we all learn a lesson.
I'm glad you're okay. You are way nicer than I am. You are so much nicer than I am. I love you, Amy.
I'm a nice person. I love you guys too. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'll be back on the show. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I love her. I adore you, Amy. I love seeing you in the comments. I'm so happy we got to see you on the show. Okay. Kim, should I save the surveillance video of Costco? I should do it right now.
No, bring it. Let's bring it on.
I just want to make sure that I have it up and running. So again, just to recap, if you did not watch our show yesterday, there's a guy, he claims, now Amy we're going to see the video. This is what his story was. I was sitting in my car, or I was unloading my groceries in my parked car. I was also eating a hot dog. Someone was waiting for my spot. They were kind of impatient. Some words were exchanged. He got in the car. The guy parked somewhere else. He came over, grabbed the thing, started punching him. Okay. So that's kind of the timeline here. Let me bring up this video because I have it right here. This is the surveillance video of the altercation. Okay. We ready? Let's go here. Okay. So here's the car. I'm assuming that red box on the top there is the guy walking. Okay. So let's see. So this is 7 minutes. Should we kind of like hurry this up here a little bit? Let's see.
Is this white car the one waiting for the spot?
I would assume so because the other guy was walking. Oh, here's another. Do I have sound on this? Is anyone going to give me the play-by-play on any of this? Okay, maybe they just naturally do boxes. So I'm thinking that this white car is the one that's what. And on the far left, see the left? There's somebody by the car. See right there? Not the person walking, but on the left of that.
Yeah.
So I think that is the person waiting. And then there's the white car. And they're waiting and they're waiting. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. See if we. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me back up. All right. So we see the guy taking his cart. Oh, they're exchanging words. The guy with the hot dog, I'm assuming, throws the cart. There we go. So he's walking back to his car.
I like that he's conscientious enough to put the cart back where it goes.
There you go. So now the guy's in the car. They're probably exchanging words right there. See, this is where it starts, right? Oh, now he's getting out of the car. Okay, so now they're talking. They're talking. I didn't see anyone come to blows yet. So they seem to probably, I'm going to imitate it. Like, F you, go eat your hot dog, blah, blah, blah. Oh, now he's walking back. See, okay, so now he's leaning in the window. So it's not as if he's just innocent. Like he's obviously has a role in the tit for tat kind of argument there.
Well, he said in the interview on the hospital gurney that
he's coming back.
He said he was just sitting in his car. The guy went
Right.
and parked somewhere else and came back
Ooh,
after
and
him.
he's kind of bumping his butt into the door. It looked like a little bit. Oh, now he's coming out.
Uh-oh, here comes.
Here it comes. So the guy's getting out of his car.
Now the guy's pissed, and he's like,
Oh, but he sees this. Okay, so maybe now he's gonna go park in
Take
that spot right
down the
there.
right.
Maybe
Mhm.
I don't know. Let's see. Is he gonna go? I kind of want to fast forward, but I don't want to miss anything here. Okay, let's just fast forward a little. Okay, he's gonna go. Okay, so he's going. He's parking. Now I think that's him walking back. See him?
Yep.
I think that's him walking
The
back
guy's
to
still putting things
right
in
in
his
front of the
car.
car. Yep. Oh, maybe not though. Oh,
I don't know. This is hard to make out.
yeah. So it's a little difficult. And again, listening to the podcast, I apologize for those that you can't see. Oh no, that is the guy. Look, there it's happening. So it kind of seemed like the car was dragging the other car. So now they're going to go to blows. So that white car now is the hot dog guy. Now they're fighting. They're fighting in the
Hot
parking
dog
lot.
guy.
What? The hot dog guy's punching the other guy. The skinny guy's
Oh.
punching the other. Oh, they're on the floor. Oh my God. They're beating the
Yep.
crap out of each other.
And Amy's right. That's a little different than how the man
Oh, hell
described
yeah.
it.
I would say from this, and again, I don't have sound. I would say they're both kind of at fault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think this is just a fight based on testosterone and words exchanged. And yeah, exactly. No, this is in Danville, West. This is the Costco in Danville. You can Google it. It's been in the news since I think it happened on Sunday. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, so that's interesting. Now, again, I still maintain though, could you let things go? But and I'm not trying to be sexist here. Men. Right? I mean, women get into like tit for tat, yelling. I've gotten into, some, get out of my way kind of things. But I feel like this is so stereotypical that I'm going to say, and I know it's not 100% true, but I also feel like neither of those men were going to let it go. Right? It just feels like someone said something to the other. He probably called that guy fat for eating a hot dog. Move your fat ass or something like that. The other guy's like, you're a ass. And, and neither of them were going to be like, all right, let's just diffuse the situation. No one was going to do that. So, but he got his ass beat. That's bad. I want to see what the other guy looked like. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see. Oh, I don't know. All right. Well, that's that.
Start something. You better be able to finish it.
Exactly. It's just gotta take a breath, people. But yeah, I mean, wasn't Amy's story nuts though, Kim?
Isn't
that
you think
crazy?
She's at fault for shoving the cart?
No.
Do you think she should have shoved the cart?
No,
I mean, what do you think? What should she have done? And she actually said, "Excuse me, I just need to grab this real quick." I mean,
he should have jumped off of that ledge.
Yeah,
the minute she made herself known.
Right. But even if he didn't do that, and even if he was ignoring her, what's her next step? What should she have done?
Done exactly what she did. You moved the cart so you could reach the cream. Oh, this is me in my mind. Oh, you want me to grab the cream between your legs because you're too lazy to get your ass off the ledge? Fine. That you move the cart and you grab the cream. How long is she supposed to wait for this guy? No. No. She did exactly the right thing. I am sorry. The response, even to someone, let's just say Amy took the cart and pushed it all the way to the other side of the freaking grocery store. You do not choke somebody over that. Like, he's insane. That guy has
I'm not
mental
saying the
issues.
response was warranted. I just wonder what I would have done in that situation. Would I have shoved the cart to make a point to get my thing?
I would have moved it. Yeah, I would have moved it.
She's like, what, 2 or 3 minutes in, and the guy's being really rude. And I get that. I don't know what my
Do
response
not second
would
guess
have
yourself,
been.
Amy. You did exactly the right thing. How long are you supposed to wait for somebody? No, you move the cart and you grab it. It's the same thing, even if it wasn't a worker. If I'm at the grocery store and I'm trying to get the box of cereal and somebody's cart's in the way, I move their cart. And then they go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no problem. I can totally move it. It's no problem. And I'm not mean about it. And I don't think Amy was mean about it, but she asked him to move and he did not move.
Right.
So
She was nice
what
at
else
the
was she supposed to do it?
Right. And I'm not saying that anything she did would warrant the response of being physically assaulted. That's not.
That
not
went
right.
from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. He's in. You know what? I wouldn't want somebody like that working at my grocery store. I absolutely
And
would not.
don't mess with Amy.
No,
Absolutely not.
exactly. Okay,
We like her.
I see a Kathy trying to connect. So Kathy, we'll keep trying to connect because we can't go to you just yet because you're not completely connected. But I'd love to hear from you. Anybody that wants to weigh in, I'm going to put the a link to the show in the comments once again. If you guys want to do it. Oh, we lost Kathy. But yeah, you guys can totally weigh
Don't you
in.
love meeting people? This is
I
so
know,
much fun.
so excited.
I know.
Let's just do this more often because this is way fun. So we'll do some headlines with Kim, and then when Kim comes back, we're going to talk about what we really want. I don't want a chokehold. I don't want a fist fight. What do you really want for Mother's Day? What do you truly, honestly want? And what do you normally do for Mother's Day? You guys can let me know in the chat. We'll do that. And then, of course, Tim Sika is going to be joining us in a little bit to talk about movies. But first, some news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Hi, it is the Nikki Medoro Show. Let's talk about immigration. It's a big day, and some migrants apparently seeking asylum in the United States won't have their day in court for more than a dozen years. Yes, people who entered at Brownsville, Texas today were given immigration court dates as late as 2032 and 2035. They can receive work permits and live and work in the country until their cases come up in court. Is that the way we're dealing with immigration? Just give them a court date 12 years down the road, and then we'll deal with it then? Yeah.
That's thanks, Biden. You're just he's going to lose this one on that issue. That's
so ridiculous. Interesting. Twitter owner Elon Musk is in advanced talks to hire NBC Universal executive Linda Yaccarino as the social media platform's new CEO. The Wall Street Journal, the first to report that Musk wants to bring on Yaccarino, who is described as having strong relationships with advertisers and marketing groups that could help calm companies that have grown skittish about advertising on Twitter since Musk took over the company in October. The civil rights groups in Texas are rallying ahead of a vote today on a bill that would ban transgender medical care for children. This is the state legislature's third try at passing this bill. Two others delayed by Democrats who use parliamentary procedure. Opponents say it takes control away from parents. If passed, it would prohibit Texas doctors from prescribing drugs like puberty blockers or hormone therapy to children. California is facing what Governor Gavin Newsom calls unprecedented weather whiplash. The governor wants to start investing more to protect communities from historic flooding. His revised budget proposal will include $492 million to support response and recovery projects. He said, "Our investments have to match this reality of climate-driven extremes. The funding includes raising a levee in Corcoran." California, the state, is rolling out new resources to fight the substance abuse crisis. Look like they're attacking it from all sides. One is an atlas to show people how to find and compare addiction treatment facilities. The director of the Department of Health Care Services says nearly 3 million Californians have a substance use disorder, but only a fraction actually receive the help they need. The other tool, a campaign that will tell stories of those impacted and offer monthly webinars and training as well. Some big news at the San Francisco Zoo. They got a new animal coming in. It is the first look at a new jaguar. You say jaguar or jaguar? What do you say?
I say jaguar.
Jaguar, yes.
Jaguar, yeah. Jaguar.
Jaguar.
I know that's a car, maybe. It's like Porsche.
We had to read this car commercial a long time ago on Station X, and the pronouncer said they wanted you to say it Britishly, like a British person.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Whatever.
The 11-year-old cat has made his way across the state. He was born in San Diego, raised in Sacramento, will now call the San Francisco Zoo home. Workers there say they haven't had a jaguar join them in a very, very long time. Now they do. Oh, look at that. Tom Brady, retired NFL quarterback Tom Brady, may soon add team owner to his resume. ESPN reporting Brady is in talks to become a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. ESPN says it's believed any investment in the Raiders would not affect Brady's deal to become Fox's lead NFL analyst. So,
well, give me a break.
Okay, what? Right. Yeah. Can you believe Brady's going to own the Raiders?
Well, he's looking into it. It's not a done deal, though, is it?
No, it's not. He's in talks to become a limited partner.
I don't know if I can I mean, I don't feel like he's going to get any fans here in the Bay Area over that. So, well, except for Raider fans, I guess.
Astronomers, it turns out, have
Hmm.
identified a cosmic explosion 100 times the size of our solar system. The biggest cosmic explosion ever observed started suddenly blazing in the distant universe more than 3 years ago. It took place nearly 8 billion light years away. That's cool.
Wow.
And this last story is just for you, because you
Okay.
might want to take a road trip this weekend. Maybe your perfect Mother's Day is in Sacramento, Nikki, and here's
Mhm.
why.
Okay.
The Foodie Land Night Market starts today at Cal Expo in Sacramento. The event starts at 3 p.m., goes until 10 p.m. It will be open Saturday and Sunday. It will have more than 110 foodie inspired multicultural dishes inspired by open air night markets in Asia. Some vendors only take cash, others accept credit card payments. You have to pay $5 to get in, and it's all these like food night markets.
Ooh, I like that idea. That
Inspired.
sounds yummy.
So you can walk through Cal Expo and look at all the stuff and then pick what you want. 110 multicultural dishes.
Damn. That's
It's
a
in the
lot.
open air. It's Foodie Land Night Market at Cal
I like it.
Expo.
They should do it a little bit closer, although I'm kind of traveling around this weekend for Mother's Day and birthdays and stuff like that. I'm not going to get anywhere close to
You're not
Sacramento,
getting to
though.
Sacramento?
I'm not
No?
getting anywhere close to there, but yeah,
No.
opposite direction.
The Nikki Medoro Show is crowdfunded. That means we
is.
have to rely on you. You can help keep us going by contributing via Patreon and PayPal as well. You can find the links at thenikkimedoroshow.com. I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show, baby.
Thank you, Kim. Let me give some shout outs real quick. Also to Wes, who started us off with a $5 super sticker, and Deidre with a $25 donation for Amy and her fun energy. We love you, Amy. I don't want to belabor the whole conversation we had before because we're going to transition to Mother's Day real quick, but I can't let this comment go. Doro, I completely disagree, and I know you disagree with me. You being in a hurry is not anyone else's problem. It's yours. Take a deep breath and respect others. I don't agree with Nikki or Amy here at all. Give yourself more time. Okay, let me just ask you this, Doro. How long am I supposed to wait for somebody that, let's just say their cart is in front of the apples that I want? I can't say, excuse me. I can't say, can you please move your cart? I can't do any of that. Of course I can. I mean, it's not that I'm not giving myself more time. It's just like, it is my time. That's your time. And maybe I'm being a little snotty when I'm saying it this way, and I would definitely be kinder at the grocery store, but it's like, can you move your cart? Or if your cart's just sitting there, I'm going to move it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think it really takes the focus off of the fact that we all have to share some things together.
Yes.
These are public spaces. Be aware of your surroundings, right? So don't hog up the aisle. Don't hog up anything. We're all in this together.
Yep.
If I'm standing in front of the Cheez-Its you want, then please just say, excuse me, I'm sorry. And I will say, oh, I didn't know you were there.
Perfect.
Let me scoop my large rear end out of the way so you can grab your Cheez-Its. Whatever. You know, I feel like people don't have respect for each other anymore. And I feel like Amy waited probably a lot longer than most people would.
Oh, way longer.
What I have and she said she admitted that she shoved the cart a little hard to kind of make the point, like, you're being really rude. And he was. Ignoring someone is extremely rude. And I understand the frustration. You know, and there's no excuse ever to put your hands on someone. I might not have shoved it that hard. I might have just rolled it out of the way in in an easier fashion, but whatever. She didn't deserve what she got. No,
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Not absolutely. And thank you, Amy, so much for the $20 donation. Happy MF Mother's Day. Thanks for the show invite. Anytime you guys want to come on the show, just click the link and we'll be right here. So yeah, we could just interact. I'm just going to add this one little story because I'm a tiny person. I really try to be helpful. I know that I might be coming across in this conversation as, oh my gosh, she'd be so angry. But no, this one woman, I was in a grocery store.
No.
I swear, honestly, I find myself to be extremely nice in grocery stores, if I do say so myself. But I remember this woman, I think she was an Asian woman. And she asked if I could get something off the
higher shelf?
Off a higher shelf because she was shorter than me. And I looked at her and I was like, this never happens to me. And I'd be so happy to get that for you. I was like, nobody in the history of ever has asked me to get anything for them. And she was totally laughing. She's like, I know.
That's really
funny. I'm like, yeah, I get it. All right. So Mother's Day is coming. Kim, do you know what you are doing or what you want to do on Mother's Day?
So my sister and I will take my mom out to brunch. And then the latter half of the day is when, my kids will get me. But what I like to do, and this is going to be horrible and awful, and you're going to think I'm the worst mother in the world. Sometimes I just want to not have anybody else around me. Sometimes I just want to be by myself. Sometimes Mother's Day might be a day for mom to take a break. Is that bad?
So I have a tradition that I've kept up for several years. And this year might be a little bit different because, again, traveling around. But what I've done past years is me and one of my close friends, we leave. We go shopping. We go out to eat. We have some cocktails, daytime drinking. And that's all. I mean, in the morning, I wake up. My kids love on me. My husband usually makes me breakfast, perhaps. I don't want to do anything. I want to sleep as late as I want to sleep. I want to eat what I want to eat, drink what I want to drink. And most importantly, I'm not cleaning anything and I get the remote at night. That's Mother's Day. Like, that's been my past Mother's Day. And I think that that's just what moms want. I mean, moms do so much. So I love the fact that you're going out with your mom and whatever. I'll see my mom. Usually I go see my mom on Saturday, or like today I'll go over there. I'll bring her a card or something like that. But my mom gets it. But there's this really interesting article. Another reason why I wanted to ask you. Should a mom, I don't want to use the word forced, but kind of like, should Mother's Day plans for moms and moms only, like they're only a mother, they're not a grandmother or anything like that, okay? Have to celebrate with mother-in-laws and grandmothers.
You kind of are obligated, don't you think?
Oh, I'm not obligated to do anything on Mother's Day.
I mean,
I'm not obligated.
They're not moms too, and then your mother.
Yeah, but like, who should get the attention? So there's this article. I don't know if you guys read this blog. I mean, it's not a blog. It's like kind of like not a news site, but it's an online site. Scary Mommy. I don't know if you guys ever follow it. But anyways, they have this article. And so some people are saying what you are, that mothers at every stage should be celebrated. But this woman put out a TikTok and she's like, Mother's Day as an adult is weird. Because it's like, am I expected to celebrate it with my mother-in-law? Am I expected to celebrate it with my own mother? Because my own mother certainly thinks so, but I'm also a mother. So when do I, as the mother who lives near her mother, when do I celebrate myself?
You don't. You got to send cards and gifts and whatever to all the mothers.
I don't mind the
your
cards.
Mother-in-law, your mother this, that mother, and
Oh, I don't do, and I love my mother-in-law. I adore her. And sometimes I do, like from the kids, but I'm not buying my husband's Mother's Day card for him. Like, you need to go, or he just gets her flowers. Like, you need to take care of your mother. She is my mother-in-law and I love her, but you should do that.
Yeah.
But one person said this. They wrote and they said, when the title grandmother hits, you pass the torch. It's the mother only's turn. I don't know about that because, it seems to me.
Don't stop. Just because you're a grandmother, you don't stop being a mother.
Right. Exactly. And my mom does so much, not just for me, but for my kids. So it's not as if I would ever ignore my mom, but I don't feel like, so this is what I don't agree with. And some people love hosting. I don't host unless my husband's taking care of it and cleaning it and everything. I don't host people at my house on Mother's Day. Why? Yeah. Because then I feel stressed.
Because then you have to do all the work.
Well, or I just feel stressed. It's like, oh, we have people coming over now. I got to get dressed, or I got to do, you know what I mean? I just want to relax. Yeah. So that's why. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much for the $5 donation for Mother's Day. I want to celebrate my mom. So that's why usually today or Saturday I'll go over there. I'll love on her because on Mother's Day I just want to relax. I just want to. And it's not that hanging out with my mom is too much to do, but I see her all the time. But yeah, it's just.
I do like the school created craft items and cards from kids.
I know.
I love that. I have above my nightstand in my bedroom, I call it the mom wall. And I have all those little laminated poems from school and things, and all the stuff they've given me on Mother's Day over the years is there.
So you like handmade gifts for Mother's Day? Like, what do you want for Mother's Day as far as gift
Yeah, I don't want
wise?
anything special. I don't want anyone to go to a great expense. I want you to show me that you've thought about it. That you
Yes.
said, I love you, Mom, and here's a piece of art that I made for you with my hand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want people to go spending any money. No, nothing
Oh
special.
no, you could totally spend money on me.
Yeah.
That's fine. You just lavish me with gifts. It's fine. I don't need it though. My son, my daughter has, obviously they've both done like arts and crafts and stuff like this. My daughter is homesick right now, so she's listening to me. So I have to be careful. But what my daughter has never done that my son has done, and it doesn't mean that he's my favorite, is he sang me this Mother's Day song.
Oh.
And it was
I heard that.
She thinks that he's a suck up. It was the cutest thing. He was like, I don't know, maybe in kindergarten or first grade. And he stood in front of me and he sang this song about how much he loves me as his mom.
Oh my God, that is the cutest thing.
And she's never done that. She's going to come.
Where's Marley's song?
Where's your song, Marley?
Where's your song, Marley? And now we know you can sing.
Yeah, we know you can sing. Where's my song?
You don't get a song.
See, this is what I get from mother. Oh, she did, and I already showed it off. So she did draw me this picture.
Is that your curly hair?
Is this me? Who's the other person? That's you. With the big ears. You're bald.
That's pretty funny.
Well, this is the drawing from my daughter.
Look at you.
Okay.
You've got art for your mom wall already.
Go. Oh yeah, my kids are very artistic, both of them. So I have like a drawer that's just filled with arts. But the song was really sweet. She thinks he's a suck up, but
that's so nice.
that's what I just want, love, and I want to be left alone. I want love and then to be left alone with the remote and a cocktail. It's not difficult. It's really, really, really not that difficult.
Can you say something like Dylan is so awesome? I just want to see what happens.
Dylan is so awesome.
No, nothing.
Wow. Kim wanted. Wow. She's like, I'm shocked. No, do your kids think that one of them is the favorite?
It's funny. I took this from, I think I saw it on a movie. There's this one mom who always tells the kid, "You're my favorite," but she says it to all the kids.
All the kids.
And so I started doing that. But if I do it in front of them, they'll look at me like, "What?
Right.
What?" So now they all know, both of my, there's so many. Now both of them know that I say it to both of them, that you're my favorite.
No, they argue. See, I have different relationships with everyone in this house. It's just natural. None of my children are my favorite. They can both drive me up the wall and they can both be the sweetest things.
Right.
So that's it. It just is. But she thinks that Dylan's my favorite. Dylan thinks that he's my favorite. But it's not true. It's just not. Some people just are nicer to me, and that's not my fault. That's not my fault. Some people are just nicer to the children. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yes, Leon, you're so right. You're so lucky to have your mothers. My mom passed away suddenly at the age of 63 back in 1997. I'll be 63 in June and still feel young, vital, and strong. Oh my God.
That's awesome, Leon. I'm sorry about your mom.
I
leaving too
know.
soon. Yeah.
Isn't it? And I don't want to use the word like weird, but I hear this often when people lose their parent at kind of a young age. I would say that 63 is pretty young.
Yeah.
But then when you reach that age and they become older, so many people I know have been like, it's weird knowing that I'm at an age that my parent never was. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm so lucky. My mom, she's really healthy considering. I mean, she just turned, what year is it? 73. So, I hope that she lives. I keep telling her, I'm like, I think you and Dad should just live long enough to see me retire. I was like, that's fine. Just keep living and I'll be so, so very happy. Thank you, Jim, for the $10 donation and happy Mother's Day. You guys are so, so very generous. Okay. We have to, we could just wait for Tim Sika. You just did headlines. You have some new headlines that you want to do?
Do I have headlines? I have some if you want some, but I don't have anything. And here comes Tim Sika. So,
let's just do some movies. Oh, I didn't save the thing. Do you have it? Oh, I forgot to upload it. And I was thinking about it. The Tim Sika icon thing that we had. I don't have it. I don't have it handy next week.
gosh. You know what? I'm going to do it while you're talking. It's fine.
Okay. So, well, one thing that I'm going to do before we get to Tim Sika, and since it is Mother's Day, did you see what's going to be, is going to get a reboot or a sequel? Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. They are going to reprise their roles as a mother and daughter who swapped bodies. I actually like this version. They have done this movie I don't know how many times in different iterations, guys, girls, everything switching bodies. I think it's not just that it's been done to death, but it's really cute. But I liked Freaky Friday. But yeah, so they're going to be redoing it. Wow, Freaky Friday came out in 2003. God, was it that long ago?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're going to be doing a sequel. I'm looking. I don't see a date for it, but yeah, they both said they have signed on to do it, which is good. I think Lindsay Lohan has turned a corner as far as her health and mental health and things like that. And oh my God, Janet, you are so sweet. $50 donation.
Wow,
Happy Mother's Day to
Janet.
two of my favorite moms on YouTube.
Thank
you. You are so generous. That warms my heart. Thank you guys so very much. But yeah, Mother's Day is coming up. Freaky Friday was a great mother-daughter movie. I really liked it. And now here we go with our friend Tim Sika talking movies.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you, my friend? Happy Friday.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you both.
All right. So, well, one, did you like Freaky Friday, the original, and are you happy that it's coming back for a sequel?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, this is the studios have no imagination anymore with their. I mean, they just keep remaking these things. Yeah,
true.
I know. Why don't they just why don't they just re-release the original? Because the original is always usually the best, right? And point people in that direction. Say, check this movie out, you know, or redo it, or what is it? Restore it, and you know, bring it.
Make it all fancy schmancy, clear,
4K,
and add scenes.
Yeah,
I get it.
None of these new thingies. Oh God. Anyway.
Well, there's new things coming out, so let's go through them. Let's start. Let me get my pictures all ready. Okay, let's start with this, and this is Book Club.
Yeah, well, it's Book Club: The Next Chapter.
The Next Chapter. That's right.
Clever, isn't that clever?
Another sequel.
The next chapter, Book Club. Anyway, full disclosure here, I didn't see the 2018 Book Club. This is a sequel.
Neither did I.
Yeah, so that didn't in any way affect what I thought about this movie. But this sequel, it has the same crew, the same cast: Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, Mary Steenburgen. Three of them are multiple Oscar winners, I think. One's an Oscar nominee. Anyway, you can't get a better cast than that, right? Okay, the director and the writer come back for another swing, I guess you'd say. And this time, these same four friends, after being locked down for whatever it is, 18 months because of COVID, they kept in touch during COVID. You know, the movie starts out with them Zooming and, you know, having a good old time, you know, staying in touch with their friends. Anyway, they decide to come out of their isolation and go on a vacation together to Tuscany, Italy, to be exact, with a stopover in Venice. Yeah, right. And that's the premise of what has to be one of the most eye-rolling movies I have ever seen in my entire span of existence watching movies. I rolled my eyes so many times I nearly got a headache. Yeah, anyway.
Book Club, what have you done?
I know, right?
Well, yeah, I'm going to be fair to this film, though. But anyway, Fonda, Bergen, Keaton, and Steenburgen en route to their dream vacation, right? They're such fun-loving, crazy seniors, right? They lose their luggage. Young men flirt with them. They're insulted. They're outraged. They're even jailed. They rekindle old romances, you know, in Italy. They go to dinners. They go to parties. They do karaoke. Mary Steenburgen even plays the accordion. Apparently, she does in real life. So they had to get that in here, right? All four of them drink so much wine that whatever. They try on expensive dresses. They have sex.
Ooh.
And yes, they even
but not with each other.
No, not with each other. No.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they're in Italy, and there's all these hot Italian men.
I see. Okay.
Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to spoil it. Honestly, I wish filmmakers would stop writing these kinds of movies for actresses of a certain age. I mean, 80 for Brady was bad enough.
Yeah.
This one, it was so goofy. All these women, all of whom are such great actresses, they try their best to elevate this material, but in my opinion, they embarrass themselves. I mean, they do a lot of I don't know, sweetly sighing. They giggle a lot in the movie. They laugh a lot. If Jane Fonda said, "That's so nice," or "That's so sweet" one more time, to me, it was so clear that they were mugging. They weren't really acting. I've never seen so much self-consciously crafted acting in a major movie with this kind of talent. Seriously, in my life, 95% of the comic lines just fall flat.
Yeah,
The
that's
script's
unfortunate.
atrocious. I mean, but here's the thing, to be fair, the movie was meant to be clearly on the side of, stop making excuses for not doing stuff in your life, no matter what your age is. Age is just a number, and it's not over until it's over. So live life to the fullest. And in that respect, the movie deserves some props. I mean, clearly it was made for the over 80 female AARP crowd. And I truly made an effort to just go with it. I just couldn't get past the artificiality of its presentation.
Yeah.
I felt literally like throwing things at the screen. And I'm looking around, I'm going, why is not everybody else like seeing what I'm seeing, or am I crazy? But this is the worst movie, and people weren't really reacting one way or another. But I wanted to yell out at one point, "Hey, let's throw some popcorn at the screen at the next dumb joke that doesn't land." Anyway,
Right.
Why are they making these movies, and why are these women signing on to them? I mean,
well, they probably
paycheck.
well, what Nikki said, paycheck probably, and it keeps them working. And they've all done such great work in the past. They're probably thinking, hey, I'm in my 80s. I can't believe people are coming to me and wanting me to be in movies. If they meet my price, why
There you
not?
go.
you know
Why
what I
not?
think?
Yeah.
I think they're all really good friends in real life, and they
Yeah.
probably just wanted a trip to Italy together and a chance to
Well, hey, I do it.
Yeah, that's the other
oh,
thing.
we're going to Italy. We'll make a movie, but we'll also drink wine and go shopping, girls.
And
It's gonna be
exactly. And they did all that, and they really did go on a vacation because they shot this movie in Tuscany. I mean, it's gorgeous to look
I
at.
would go in a heartbeat.
Come on,
I would
and
go.
you get a nice hefty paycheck on top of it. Come on.
That works for me. All right, so that's some women that are friends. Now there's this 8 Mountain that is about men who are friends.
Oh
correct?
yeah, It's called The 8 Mountains. This movie. This is, and I have to confess that it's my type of movie. The 8 Mountains.
Okay.
It's not for everyone, but for those who kind of like a contemplative visual experience, there's a lot to be said for a movie like this. It won the jury prize at Cannes last year. So it's a critical darling. Not that that necessarily means anything, because I'm a critic and I'm oftentimes disliking of many other movies that are critical darlings. But it's an Italian movie. It's got English subtitles, and it's about the friendship of these two men, one who is sort of the land and a dreamer, and the other is in search of something similar but more earthbound, who bond as kids, who are separated for long stretches of their lives, but who are also eventually reunited. And it's based on a novel, which is probably why there's so much going on in this story than in that brief synopsis I just gave. But I really like movies that explore or dramatize same-sex male and female platonic friendships. I remember a movie that came out in the 70s called Julia with back to Jane Fonda again. Jane Fonda and Vanessa Redgrave drama. It was from 1977. It was just a beautiful story about these female friends. Bang the Drum Slowly was one about sports, baseball players. These kinds of stories about platonic friendships and the kind of what I call mystery that keeps them together are intriguing to me. And that's this movie, The 8 Mountains. It was shot in Italy and Nepal, amidst these glorious mountains and landscapes and valleys and glaciers, so gorgeously shot. And then there's the story, which in addition to this male friendship is also about fathers and sons and the dynamic between fathers and sons. And in this story in particular, this story of two men who are friends, how often in male friendships, the men they're incapable or unwilling or unable to express how they feel about each other. So I did mention that it's based on a book, and I have a feeling that the story probably reads better as a novel than plays as a film. But but this is they did a really good job making the story into a film, which I'm still thinking about weeks after having seen it. So and for me, that says a lot, because I see so many movies and I forget about them the minute I've seen them. And this one I'm still thinking about. I really liked it a lot.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for that one. Okay, this one is interesting. I didn't know who was calling for a movie about this, but Blackberry.
Yeah. On the more, well, staying in the positive lane here. Blackberry is a Canadian film, and it's about the two men who created and sold, and then kind of charted the course, basically, for the spectacular rise and then the catastrophic demise and downfall of the world's first smartphone, which was called the BlackBerry. Did either of you ever have a BlackBerry? I never did.
I had one briefly through work up in Sacramento. I thought it was cool because it had the whole keyboard thing.
But... Well, what replaced that was
I never had that. Yeah.
No, I never did either. But apparently it was, I guess if you were it was a status symbol, like if you were like a professional.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Not me. I didn't.
It was a heartbeat, and then we moved on. So
Yeah. Well, this is another one of those like latest adventures in capitalism movies, which are kind of like becoming a trend in movies and binge TV series, like the HBO series Succession, and then recently that Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie Air, the one about the Air Jordans. We talked about it, but those are just a couple of examples. Movies that depict the intersection of high tech and big business and all that stuff that accompanies that intersection. And Blackberry goes into this fascinating detail, portraying how this Canadian tech company, I didn't even know this story really at all, but and it's Canada. Canada always gets sidelined for other reasons, which we don't have time to talk about. But it's about this tech company, Canadian tech company called Research in Motion, and how they created the very first smartphone, which literally revolutionized the way people communicate, the way they work, and the way in which they do business. It really changed everything, and it really laid the groundwork for what was to come. But now I think the BlackBerry is where? I mean, at its height, BlackBerry controlled, I think the movie said it controlled like 45% of the cell phone market.
Politicians, everyone had one, it seems.
Right. But today it's 0%.
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
So they basically went from being the number one phone in the world to that phone people had before they bought their iPhone, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, this is vastly entertaining and informative. I mean, I was so entertained by this. It was a funny movie too. It was kind of amusing because the computer nerd culture is kind of affectionately captured here, which of course is in dramatic contrast to the outright immorality and ruthlessness it took to bring the BlackBerry to the marketplace. I highly, highly recommend this movie. It was fun, it was amusing and tragic and just very entertaining.
Good.
They did a great job on it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, now that's in theaters, but this next one that we're talking about is Crater. This, I'm assuming, is just a Disney Plus one.
Yeah, well, it's another good. Yes, it's on Disney Plus. Just exclusively on Disney Plus. It's another really good movie, and it's a smart one. It's called Crater, from the Disney company, and it's a made-to-order YA coming-of-age science fiction adventure film for preteen boys and preteen girls. I think, it's a kind of an underserved market. But anyway, the story takes place in the distant future, 2057, I think. And it's basically a kind of galactic road movie of sorts. It takes place on a lunar mining colony, and the plot is 4 boys and 1 girl steal this lunar rover, and then they go across the moon in search of this crater of the title, where all kinds of stuff happens. So yeah, this is
cute. I mean, is it worthy?
Yeah.
Like it?
Yeah, It's a sophisticated movie and an entertaining one for preteens. I liked how intelligent it was and how it assumed the kids it was obviously made for were intelligent and sophisticated too. It never plays down to them. And it's basically about how friends at that age have each other's backs when push comes to shove, which is the emotion of the piece. I mean, that's when it clicks in, the emotion. But there's all this stuff kicking around in the story. I mean, the screenplay sort of addresses the myth of the American dream. It addresses indentured corporate servitude, the importance of political activism. Now, these were my takeaways. I don't know if any of this was deliberate or implied in the script, but it's what I saw. And it also addresses the inevitability of change, just change in general, the impact of divorce on kids, the death of a parent, and the real biggie here is death, period. There's a really powerful scene here where these kids are having to face their own deaths and the fact that, well, the death is a part of life. So it's a sort of this metaphysical sci-fi movie for pre-adolescents. And I say kudos to the Disney company for respecting its young audience, you know, for whom this movie was obviously intended. I was surprised how good it was. And I hope I'm not overselling it, but I thought there was a lot in it for kids. It was subtle. And it was kind of, I mean, yeah, there's a scene, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a scene where these kids have to, it's a very dramatic scene where they've kind of resigned themselves to the fact that they were going to die because of lack of oxygen. And it was really powerful. I don't know how I would have reacted to that, seeing it as a young kid, but obviously the filmmakers think kids today could handle it. And I think it's a good thing to talk about death.
What's the rating on that?
It's for preteens, so it's PG. It's got to be PG. Yeah. There's a little bit of violence, but nothing, nothing to really write home about.
Right.
So what you're saying is Disney respected preteens more than book club respected old people.
Yes, well said. I could not have said it any better. Thank you. Yes.
Very well done. Okay, now this one, I adore Michael J. Fox. Again, we were talking earlier about how much I can't stand Kirk Cameron, and I hate that he's from Growing Pains and he was a heartthrob back then. Michael J. Fox, I mean, adore him. Obviously has Parkinson's. I'm assuming that's what this movie is about.
Yeah. Well, if you love Michael Fox, oh man, yeah, it's now streaming. It streams today on Apple TV, and it's a documentary. It's called Still, a Michael J. Fox movie, and it's directed by the guy that won an Oscar in 2006 for his documentary on global warming. It was called An Inconvenient Truth. Davis Guggenheim directed this, and it's his latest documentary, which tells of the amazing film and television career of actor Michael J. Fox, family ties, those Back to the Future movies, the Spin City TV series, and how that prolific career. I mean, this guy was doing. He was in Family Ties. He shot in that series all day. I think went home and slept for 2 hours and then shot the Back to the Future movies, one right after the other. Anyway, and this movie shows how that prolific career was derailed. Well, maybe impacted is the better word by Parkinson's, which he was diagnosed with when he was 30, in which he hid from the public for a number of years. He's written a lot of books about this, but yeah, this is one of those, what is not to like, or in the case of Michael J. Fox, and I'm a fan too, what's not to love about movies about a beloved star dealing with a debilitating disease. Nikki, you said you liked Michael J. Fox. I think you'll adore this movie. I think even if you're not a Michael J. Fox fan, I think you'll still find this story, his story, to be inspiring and optimistic. You know,
he is. I mean, if you listen to any of his interviews, I mean, you want to talk about someone who has been dealt a hand that would cripple, and I don't mean that as a pun, but literally other people, and he has just risen above. And I'm sure it's not easy, and I'm sure he has his down days, but my God, he is such an inspiration for what he's still he's still out there, and he accepts it. It's who I am, and he doesn't shy away from it.
He could easily have holed up, right? Have squirreled himself behind doors as his body kind of let itself down and go. But
well, you know what? Yeah,
and the public face of Parkinson's. He comes out and he says, "This is who I am. This is what's happening, and I'm still me."
Yeah. And you know, it's in addition to like the obvious reasons, it's a wonderful film because it kind of nails the illusion of Hollywood and all that glamour and the movies and of fame and notoriety and the impermanence of success. So it brings you back to what are really the important things in life, like love and family. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. And it leaves you, I mean, here's this wealthy, you guys said it just now, this wealthy, successful guy who's had it all, but now has to deal with a condition that will eventually do him in. And boy, does it leave you with that adage, you know, of there but for the grace of God, go I. I mean, and I love the title. I think really, in the final analysis, the title very accurately describes what this movie is about. And that's presence, stillness, being aware, but being fully and completely in the moment, and the never-ending challenge it is to be in that state. There's a wonderful, worth a piece of admission moment in this movie where the director asks Michael Fox, he says, before Parkinson's, what did it mean for you to be still? And his response, see the movie. That's all I'm going to say. It's one of those movies.
It's on my list. Maybe I'll watch it tonight because I love it. And I'm really, I'm just fascinated by him. I really am. Anytime he gives an interview, I'm just fascinated.
Is it on what network is it on?
Apple.
Apple TV. Yeah. And I think it may be at a theater or two, although I'm not sure. You'd have to check on that. But it's such a well done, well made, respectful movie. I mean, and his wife, Tracy Pollan.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I love her.
I love that woman. I mean, you know what? Anybody else could have easily bailed. And
yeah. All right. Yeah. Still with Michael J. Fox. Tim, before I let you go, I need to. Now, I know we talk about movies every week. And I know that we talked about this particular movie, but I finally saw it.
Yeah.
A Man Named Otto with Tom Hanks.
What'd you think? Yeah.
Oh my God, Tim. I really think that you underplayed how much of a tearjerker this movie was. I was bawling. I'm sitting with I am just beside myself. And then when you think that it's turned a corner and you can stop crying, then all of a sudden, and I don't remember you emphasizing. And I was saving it for today because I was like, Tim,
well,
tell me I was going to be bawling as much as I was in this freaking movie.
Well, I like this movie, The Eight Mountains. I'm not always forward about that too, but I watched that movie alone. And since you guys are admitting it publicly here, I had the same reaction. I was bawling through the whole movie. And you're
I was
right,
in a movie theater crying in public.
No,
but it's good. It's
good.
A great movie, and I think Tom Hanks did an amazing job. And I love tearjerkers. I love anything that makes me feel emotion. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I was not prepared. I just wasn't prepared. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's good. Then it was a kind of a surprise for you then. And that's always good to be surprised. But it was but you're right. It's so well done. It wasn't corny. It was like genuinely moving.
It was.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to throw that in there because I just watched it earlier this week and I was like, Tim.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it though. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah.
I did. I really, really did like it. And I love you. And I love your reviews. So
well,
thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you on Friday.
All right. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, so you saw it in the theaters, Kim, because I don't know if I would be able to see it in the theaters at all. I mean, I would have been.
My mom took me to it, and at this point, I think Tim hadn't reviewed it yet. I didn't know what it was about.
Oh,
my God. Pretty early on, and it was, I mean, it's a really, really good movie, and it's an interesting movie, kind of a different movie, and it really makes you think about, you come in across people that are not very kind. Sometimes.
Why? Yes.
What's the reason? Everyone has that underlying story.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, it started dark, so I kind of prepared myself, but it's a tearjerker and it tugged at your heartstrings. So A Man Named Otto with Tom Hanks, I 2 thumbs up. It was great. Let me give some shout outs before we end the show. Thank you to everybody that has supported us in the live chat, the super chat. Let's start at the bottom of our list. Luis came in with a $10 donation and a happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Wes, happy Mother's Day, ladies hosting and all ladies in the audience. Love you all from the land of Ronnie versus Mickey, where the mouse hopefully wins. Oh, he better. Wes, thank you for the $20 donation.
And thank you for all the messages you always send.
Yes,
really nice.
And the articles that you send my way. I appreciate it. Floyd, have a wonderful Mother's Day to both of you. I love the MMA Fridays. Yeah, I was getting a little feisty today, I think. And thank you, Floyd, for the $10. Janet, again, with the $50 donation and a happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
That is just so generous. I love you. Thank you. Jim, also with a happy Mother's Day and a $10 donation. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thank you so much. Lynn Love, $5 donation. Happy Mother's Day to you both. Amy, who actually made a cameo on our show today. I loved it.
Highlight.
A $20 donation from her and a happy Mother's Day. Deidre, we love having you in the comments as well. $25. Deirdre, sorry, for Amy and her fun. And what did I say? And her fun and
well, I said it's funny because I made the same mistake on Mark's show and he called me out for it. I said Deidre but there's an R in there. He says, no, it's Deirdre.
Deirdre. Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Deirdre, thank you so much for your $25 donation. And I apologize for butchering your name. And Wes started us off with a $5 super sticker. All right. So
thank you guys.
Happy Mother's Day, my friend. I want you to be spoiled. Thank you to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the audience and everybody. Have a great weekend. Please go to thenikkimedoroshow.com. Sign up to be a subscriber. We appreciate it so much. And be safe. Enjoy the sunshine and the warm temperatures. And we'll talk next week. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow.